Well, our staff at ATTAIN for a long time have kind of been thinking about possibilities for alternative workstations and alternative seating arrangements for the students that we serve. Some of the students have motor issues where they may have ADHD or something like that and need to move around quite a bit. And years ago, I would say even maybe 8 years ago, we experimented with having exercise balls as an alternative for seating in the ATTAIN lab. And then we talked about the possibility of maybe treadmills or standing workstations or something that would meet the needs of the students who for whom sitting was not probably the best idea for 90 minutes. They needed to get up and move around, but they still need to stay productive. So we're trying to think of a way to have a workstation that would be both productive and would meet the students' needs, students' particular movement needs. So again, we had various ideas. We had a carpenter in the district, and we were thinking of commissioning that carpenter to make standing workstations for our students. And then we just started, actually we formed a small committee with 4 staff, and we started thinking about the possibilities of having alternative workstations for students. We investigated treadmill workstations after seeing an article in the newspaper about a company that was using those. And then we saw an article on the sit-to-stand, again in the newspaper. And the source or reference person was Nico Kronk from Health Partners. So we are a Health Partner school. So I called up Health Partners and explained to them what we wanted to do and asked if it would be possible for us to speak with Nico and talk to him a little bit about what we've been trying to do over the past few years. And he very generously returned my call. And we had some conversations back and forth, and he and Abigail Katz ended up coming to visit. And we talked a little bit more. We ended up talking to the Ergotron people, and Ergotron said yes, we would possibly participate in a study. And then last spring we finally had a kind of a summit meeting with the Ergotron and Health Partners people and staff here at District 287, and we established that we would start an action research project in the fall of 2013 to demonstrate or to investigate whether having a standing workstation would have an effect on student attitude, student productivity, whether it would help our students become better workers here at the ATTAIN Lab.
Great. Now, I'm wondering if you can see any application, any larger application outside of the ATTAIN program, for instance, in high schools or, you know, in terms of the results of this study. Do you see anything?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we started here just because we wanted to start small, and, you know, we had thought about, you know, we had kind of been the group that was thinking about this for a few years anyway, but I think this is just really a pilot demonstration program, and what I'm hoping is that people would see it as a workstation alternative for not only students with disabilities, but just the general ed population. I think that, you know, all teenagers have a lot of energy. They need to move around a little bit. They don't want to stay sedentary for a 60 to 90 minute work period. And I think the sit-to-stand offers an excellent opportunity for them to be able to get that movement and I think help focus and keep their interest in their job. I think the boredom if there is a boredom factor, it's reduced using the sit-to-stand, because we do a lot of repetitive work at ATTAIN. It's the kind of work that teachers don't have the time to do. Not that they couldn't do it, but it's just very repetitive and time-intensive, kind of laborious and tedious. So some of the jobs that we give to our students have to be repeated over and over again. And what we want to do is be able to keep their interest and keep their productivity and keep them engaged in the activity and not kind of zone out on it. And I think the sit-to-stand would be a device that would help in all of those settings.
So as a teacher, administrator, you feel that other teachers would welcome this? It wouldn't be too much of a distraction? Or even the contrary, that it's...
Yeah, I do not think it would be a distraction. It hasn't been a distraction here. Students have been very responsible in using it. Some students elected to use it for maybe just 15-20 minutes at a time. Other students use it for the entire 90 or 90 minutes or 2-hour work period. So I never saw it being played with or used inappropriately in any setting.
It's good to hear because we're doing a similar, we're doing a study in Onami at the Nashing School
Okay.
on the Ojibwe reservation, and we got the same information. The kids were being very respectful and using the equipment properly, which, you know, is one of the first things that you're worried that people will say that this can't work. So my final question is, how many, if you know, how many school districts within the state of Minnesota or even nationwide have programs like this?
I don't know of any.
Really? So there's no consortium or there's...
Nope. This is, the initiative here at 287 has just been generated from kind of the grassroots level. And it started here with the ATTAIN staff, and then we moved over to our district service center and involved our purchasing director, finance director, and also one of our program administrative staff. And the four of us just kind of started talking about what we could do at 287 to provide some sort of alternative workstation. And again, we discussed a lot of different ideas, and finally we got the Health Partners article, and it came about that what we started using was the Ergotron equipment.
That's great. Good to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.